Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe this is the first episode I'm gonna do on anything to do with surfing. Surfing's a huge part of my life. It's my primary activity. I love it, and I love everything about it and everything around it. So I'm gonna share one of my little secrets with you. I've done some searches on how to do it. I feel that I found the best way, and that is to straighten a surfboard leash. Now, when they come out of the package, straight from the manufacturer, they're typically in some kind of a cardboard sleeve. I just bought this leash, which is what reminded me to share this with all you. And so I took off this cardboard sleeve, and what ends up happening is your leash looks like this. It wants to stay how it's been, curled up in that nice little package for the past year as it's been sitting on the surf shop shelf. So what I'm going to teach you is how to get rid of all those kinks. Now the problem, you say, especially if you're a new surfer, what's the problem with having little kinks in my leash? It's not going to be such a big deal. But what happens when you're sitting in the water, and pretend that this is your leg dangling down in the water, and you're getting ready to paddle for that big set wave. And what'll happen is this leash underwater will work its way around your leg, and you'll go to stand up, and it's going to snake you. You're going to end up snaking yourself, and you're going to miss that perfect set wave because your leash is wrapped around your ankle. It's happened to every surfer, I promise. If anybody tells you they haven't had it happen, they're lying to you. So I'm going to show you a trick to straighten that leash, and it's quick, it's easy, and it's lifetime. You're never going to have to do it again. Once you do it the first time, you're done. So you can do it on new leashes, old leashes. So I'm going to show you one that I've already done. This is for my shortboard. When I hold this leash up, look at how nice and straight it wants to stay. And it stays like that for its life. Once you form this leash, it's going to stay like that. Compare that, nice little floating under the water, how it's going to be compared to this leash when it's under the water. Now I'm going to show you this leash after we're done with it, but this will work with any leash. This is an old Dakine leash. This leash is probably 15 years old. Look at how yellowed it is, but it's kinked. I've never done it. I just found it sitting in the bottom, so I'm going to show you that it works on this as well. It doesn't matter how old, how thick your leash is, it'll work. Here's another mid-age leash. Same thing, same problem. It's one that I don't use, but I'm going to straighten it while we're here. So, as you guys know, I like quick, I like easy, I like cheap. So, here's quick and easy. Get yourself a pot big enough to fit the leash in. Now what I do is I fill it up about that high. I don't know if you can see it if it's in frame. About halfway with boiling water. Now, quick safety. It's boiling water. It can burn you. It can get in your eyes, can burn your skin. Be careful, take precautions. That's about all I'm gonna say on that. So, when you have that much water, it doesn't have to be boiling straight off. You can have it sitting here for 10 minutes and it's gonna be plenty hot to straighten your leash. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that first leash that I showed you, my new leash, and I'm gonna stick it down and make sure that it's fully covered inside the water. And if it doesn't want to cooperate, you can just kind of push it down a little bit. You can use the leash itself. You can use another implement to push it down in. But it's important that the whole leash get underneath the water. That way, the whole leash heats up, and when you straighten it, everything will heat up evenly and cool evenly. So now, to straighten these, I found a couple of different ways to do it. You can hang it from a roof rafter or something like that. That involves getting up onto a ladder typically, because most leashes are above 6 feet, and quite a few of them are 8 to 10 feet long. So it's important for safety purposes, to try to keep it on the ground. So what I'll do is I'll wrap it around a doorknob, I'll wrap it around a fixture in my garage, and then I'll pull it straight. And then you can hold it straight. You can do a couple of things. You can hook a bungee cord to the end of it, and that'll keep tension on it. That way you don't have to stand there and hold while it cools. Or you can use a weight as you pull it away and weight something on the ground. As long as it's straight the whole time, the straighter the better, with a little bit of tension the better. It's gonna work really nice. So now that I've gotten this leash all loosened up, you can see how flopsy it is. It really moves easily. And now it's ready for forming. It's ready for straightening. So I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna set it up on the ground, and then I'm going to come back and show you my little setup on the ground so you can see how it straightens. All right, so here's my third and last leash. As you can see, it fits nicely down in there. Just waiting for it to heat up, and then I will show you all three lined up together. Okay, so here's the setup I use. It works pretty well on the file cabinet. They're all attached. Make sure that this is nice and tight before you stretch out to attach it to your bungee. You don't want that letting loose and coming and hitting you as you're trying to attach. So I have 3 bungees attached here, and then they're all just attached to my car. Little point, ahead of time, you want to measure your bungees and make sure that you have the right length. That way, when you're handling the hot piece of plastic or your hot leash, you're not worrying about getting your bungee right. Everything's set, you know it's gonna be set to length, and you'll be ready to go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let all of these cool, and then we will come back and I will show you the final product. Okay, so this is my new FCS leash after it's been straightened. As you can see, when I hold it up, it's gonna hang nice and straight. And when you're in the water, it's gonna do the exact same thing. It's exactly what you want when you're out there. You don't want it wrapping around your ankle. To keep this straight, there are a couple of things. You know, I did say that they will stay straight for life, but if you store it improperly, of course, it's gonna kink and go back to its old ways. So a lot of people I see when they get out of the water, they take the end of the surfboard and they wrap their leash around the end of the surfboard, and then they hook it onto a fin. So it looks great and it stays out of the way, but guess what? You're storing your leash again in a kink position. Guess what's gonna happen over time? It's gonna kink and it's gonna get messy. So word of advice, when you get done with your session, keep your leash straight. When you go home, straighten it out and keep it straight on the board. Don't store it all coiled up around your surfboard. That's it. I hope you got something out of this. I hope it helps. Enjoy yourself, have fun in the water, stay kind, and don't forget to like and subscribe.